Well, hello, and welcome back to Fair Life with Andrew McKee. Whew, yeah, had a kind of a week off and then some technical problems the week before. And yeah, definitely some bad internet where I was staying over for the Sherwood Forest Fair. But we're done with that, so have good internet again, so it shouldn't be a problem. I know, I actually said that out loud at the beginning of a show. I actually did. I know it's yeah. Sometimes I really need to look up the definition for hubris in the dictionary. But hey, Jan and Sarit and Dan and Andrea and Kurt and yeah, and and thank you for saying that, Sarit. Yeah, it is my birthday today. So for those of you that aren't aware, yeah, and I know what you're thinking. You actually did the show on your birthday, and there of course was that thought of, I could go do some partying and having fun and doing that kind of thing, go out somewhere. But last few weeks, no, didn't. Had to cancel Fairlife for various reasons, and wasn't going to do that again. Was not going to do it. I have a lot of fun with y'all, so celebrating my birthday a little bit with y'all. So I hope you don't mind. Definitely a lot of fun, and I appreciate you hanging out with me. So a little online birthday party, if you're okay with that. Yes, it was. So far, yeah, pretty good. Since I've been a little silent over the last week, and that's because, well, after Sherwood, I was a bit hoarse and very congested and stopped up. I don't know. I'm glad it waited until after the fair, because I think my voice was actually pretty solid throughout all 8 weekends. But after that last weekend, it really just, it was rough. For conventions, we always call it con crud. That's the vernacular definition. But I think it was okay. I've been kind of getting better and taking care of myself the last week, and also helping out my parents with a lot of things, and it has been a good time. So yes, and don't worry, I definitely yesterday and today have relaxed and had some fun, and I'm definitely gonna go and have some fun after this, so don't worry. But thank you. Oh, and thank you, Dan and Melinda and Harvey and everybody saying happy birthday, and Kathy and yeah, you're right. That last weekend, the weather kind of got a little weird, and I don't know. It was just, I don't know if I was fighting a cold, maybe something. It was really weird. Not what I was expecting, but hey, sometimes those things happen. You got to roll with it, and I'll just consider myself lucky that it happened after fair. So never complain with that. Yeah, the last part of Sherwood. Let's see. I guess I can just do a little bit of a rundown of how Sherwood went. Hey, Kevin. Yeah, it was a very good fair year. I think I've kind of taken a few steps forward with my stage shows, and they all went very well. And everybody seemed to like it. I can't think of a bad show. I think every single show I had was at least solid, and many of them were very good. So I'm very happy with it, and hopefully I'll continue that. I do think the interesting thing is doing Fair of Champions before Sherwood is a very good thing, because usually I take a few months off before Sherwood, late December and then January, and usually a good bit of February. And then after 2 months off, boom, jump right back into one of the hardest fairs I do in the year. I really go crazy and book myself a lot during the day. And I think it usually takes me a few weeks to kind of get going. But because I did Fair of Champions and filled up the first 5 weekends of the year, I really didn't get that long hiatus. So I think it was very good for me, because jumping into Sherwood, it didn't really feel like I'd taken a long break. It was just like, oh, let's do it again. And I think that's the way I need to try to approach things. Try to avoid taking more than maybe 3 weeks off, a month at the most. And I think that will keep me from having to worry about that. Well, that is part of how I do things. Yeah, the reunion shows. I guess we didn't really talk about those either. Those went fairly well. The first weekend, that would be the sixth weekend of the fair. Uh, it rained a lot, so that was a bit rough. And I talked to Mark about it. I don't know. I think doing it for two straight weekends might be a mistake. He seems to think the same thing. So I think next year, the current plan is to, when Mark gets there, the first weekend, we don't do a reunion show and we talk about it and promote it a bit, do maybe the live stream during the middle of the week. And I think that went very well on Wednesday, and try to do that again and then just do one weekend of reunion shows, Saturday and Sunday. I think that might be a better move. Um, yeah. I mean, hopefully it won't rain on that weekend. You never know. But, generally, I think that's probably what we're going to try to do. So, yeah, you heard it here first. That's sort of the discussion on that. I think it would work better because I think both of us were spread very thin with our other shows and doing the reunion show. It is really tough. I definitely spread myself too thin. And I think just limiting it to one weekend is the smarter play. So I think that's how we're going to play it. But yeah, I think the overall it went very well, and definitely we prepared fairly well. Uh, hey, Janine. Yes. Yeah, it did. And this is what having good internet is like. I'm not even using the low bit rate on Facebook, so it actually looks pretty good, I think. Yeah, my schedule is a little nuts at Sherwood. I mean, even if we next year on the one weekend, I'm not going to do that. I've always wondered what my limit was, and 7 official stage shows in a day is probably my limit. Yeah, yeah, that's kind of my not doing that again. I think it might work if I wasn't doing anything else, but because I do all the other events, I pretty much skipped lunch for those reunion shows. I really didn't eat. I mean, I grabbed a quick snack for in about a 10-minute break I had, and that was it. Otherwise, I never stopped. So it's a weird. You got to have at least a quick 30-minute, 45-minute break in the middle of the day for lunch. I found it kind of helps you recharge and finish out the day. Without it, that is rough. So definitely found my limit a little bit, and it's good. That is very good. You want to know what your limits are, and I think I found it. Yes, James, you're right. What I would do is what I do at Sherwood is I bring my own, I kind of make my own Lunchables, but I do snooty Lunchables. I find really cool cheeses, some Havarti, some Munster, some, occasional Gouda, port wine Derby cheese, just anything that jumps out at me, some truffle Gruyere. I tried a lot of different stuff, and bring a nice mixture of cheeses and some good smoked turkey and some naan bread. And yeah, I just make my own Lunchables and bring them. And since I have my pack basket, I can take those with me. And, I usually hang back since it's usually before the ferry picnic that I play a song at or so, I'll hang back there and share cheese with the Fae. Which, boy, that almost sounds like an interesting children's story. Share cheese with the Fae. Or sounds like a French phrase. Share cheese with the Fae. Yeah, it does kind of sound French. Well, anyway. Yeah, eating is important, but it wasn't just the food. I think it was just also need that little break during the day, just a small one. I don't like taking too much time. I think it kind of hurts my momentum. I like just going and going and going, but you can only go so far. You got to pace yourself a little, and I realized, yeah, that's the cutoff. Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is yeah, that is good. I like that. Cherchez Lefay. Yeah, I like that. That's good. And you are right, Jan. Keeping the Fae happy is a very good idea, especially since they let me hang out back there in their little area, and it's not a huge space, so I am taking up some of their space. So that's kind of how I justify it. I'm like, you're letting me hang here for like 45 minutes, have some cheese and some bread, and they for them they really appreciate that too. So it's kind of fun and. But I always kind of like that. I don't know. Some performers really keep away from cast in a big way. It historically that's generally how it's done. You have the performers, stage performers, and then you have cast. And cast has been working together during sometimes a month or two, sometimes more of rehearsals, and they're very tight knit anyway. And then the stage performers, they come into town and they're there the first weekend, and that's when they see everybody. So it is a different dynamic, but I never liked that sort of division. I mean, we're all trying to put on a good fair, and I don't like that kind of. I don't like the whole caste system approach to things at fair. Yeah, charcuterie is adult. Kurt, you are totally right, and that's kind of what I was doing. I like how I've done it, and I've brought crackers in the past. Normally, I'd do like water crackers, and those work pretty well. But I don't know. They just when I locked onto non bread, that just always seemed to be better. You can just use the small little non bread bits I can that are already packaged. I just love those. Those are great. You can put cheese on them and eat, and lunch meat and cheese, and make a little sandwich if you want, or just eat the bread, and it's good. So I like that. You get your protein, you get your carbs, and also drink some water, so you don't dehydrate. And on some of those hot days, boy, does that make a difference. Hmm. Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm actually pretty used to eating a late lunch. I've never really liked going out and eating lunch at restaurants at noon, and because of the crowds and everything, hard parking. So I'd always 1 to 2 o'clock is usually when I would go eat lunch. So two is not that weird for me. It maybe a hair late, but I'm good. That doesn't bother me. If it's a really hot day, I do drink water before that because come on, that's just asking for trouble. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Definitely don't want to do that. Uh, yeah, oh, is it 6 weeks at Sherwood? Okay, I actually wasn't even sure. I've seen fairs do 2 months of rehearsals. I've seen them do more at some fairs. It can be pretty crazy. 6 weeks is about probably average, I'd say. But it varies. I mean, some only do like 2 or 3 weeks. I think that's nuts. But usually that's just the smaller fairs that get away with that. It can be tough, and the more practice, of course, the better everything tends to be. So I totally get that. Totally get that. Um, well, yeah, that's true. And I mean, they cast. I give them. They work their butts off, and I totally. I don't want to say that they don't. I would never say that because I've have lots of friends that have been on cast over the years, and I know what they go through, so they need a break as well. Yeah, I have done the smoothies for a while. I would bring out smoothies to fair and just have a thermos of really good, usually strawberry, banana, grape smoothie. I used to make them myself, and it was really good. Very, very tasty, but I don't know. I kind of stopped doing that partly because it was when I had my own place there and I was a local in Austin. It was a lot easier to do that. On the road, not quite as easy. So it was hard for me to justify bringing my blender on the road just for a smoothie. So I kind of stopped doing that. Gotta prioritize. But It's been good. It's been good. Fair was really strong and good this year. I think a lot of things went well in general for the fair, but I think my shows were very good as well. As far as the future goes, well, I locked into my schedule a little bit. It is I got the Arkansas Ren Fair, so I'm going to be there in the fall. I'm missing one weekend because of Dragon Con, so I'm going to be there the first weekend towards the end of August. Then for Labor Day weekend, I'll be at Dragon Con, and then I'll come back for what is it, 4 more weekends or something for is it three more weekends? Yeah, 3 more weekends uh, for to finish it up in September. So yes, it will be that will be new. I haven't been to the Arkansas Fair before, so I will check that out and tell you how it goes. But that helps because that and then Louisiana Fair, and that will really help fill up my fall. So I'm liking that. Really liking that. Good one. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it's not so much the electric. It's not so much the electric part that is a problem for me. It's more the size, the space it takes, because you really have to prioritize space. I don't have a huge travel vehicle right now. I'm still traveling everywhere in my Toyota Camry. So yes, it is not the easiest. You have to really really consolidate. So that's kind of why I still have my blender. I did not get rid of it. I got rid of a lot of things. I did not get rid of my blender, but we'll see. We'll see if that bring that back. I don't know. After this, I am finishing up for a couple of weeks with helping out my family with some stuff because they're in the process of moving, and then I will be off to New Jersey for the New Jersey Fair and starting with a. Well, actually, I'm playing well, actually, I think I'm going to be playing with a few other musicians at a pub and then doing a wedding the weekend before. So I'm going out there a little early. And then it will be 4 weekends of New Jersey Fair. So, yeah, that's always fun. Yeah, you're not the first person to suggest a trailer, Kat. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's really it's a tough one because the whole trailer thing, maybe. I mean, I'm kind of just seeing how I want to do it because I right now I don't really camp, so it almost makes sense to just have a vehicle that is very that I can still drive around, is very flexible, and I don't need to worry about um, camping locations or storage of anything. So I'm kind of keeping it open, and over the next year or two, I'll probably make a decision which way I want to go with that. I know. Yeah, it is totally a shift mentally. You're not wrong. And as it is now, not much has really changed. I mean, not having the home base is definitely different, but I was on the road about 70% of the year anyway, at least. So all of that is almost exactly the same. Uh, so yeah, I mean, most of it hasn't changed. So that's definitely a bonus. Uh, ooh, yeah, it's already 7:20. I do need to go over the fair list because there are a lot of fairs now. Remember when I said that we're in the lull a couple of weeks ago and just said that it was, yeah, and now there aren't many fairs going right now, but that's about to change. Well, it changed. I think there's like 18 or 19 fairs, so that's going to take a little time. The only other thing I've been working on was I've been finishing up with my website, and I think I still have. Let me see. Do I have that? Yes, I do. Okay. I talked about that a few weeks ago, that I was kind of trying to finish up, and if anybody had any suggestions. And lo and behold, a lot of you had suggestions. And I really appreciate it for those of you that gave me feedback on it. So yeah, for what it's worth, I listened, and a lot of little things. I mean, like, let me see. Let me look at the list here. There's a lot of, oh yeah, somebody said that at the Buy My Music, it was not, that did not, it's the only link on there that the main link on there that goes to a separate a separate page, and that wasn't obvious, and I need to say that. So I changed that. And somebody mentioned that the image over here on the, down, let's see, right over here, the main image of me wasn't centered well, especially when you went to mobile. And I think I mostly fixed that. It's at least a lot better. So I think I got that. I fixed some background color stuff throughout the page, made sure the contrast was a little better, upgraded the bio and clarified a few things. Oh yeah, somebody mentioned that the one video I had down there just wasn't enough, because while Bog Down the Valley is a great song, it didn't really show the range of what I could do. And they were right. So I went ahead and put 2 more videos and even added subtitles to all 3 videos. So that's good. So yeah, a lot of little things really worked, and I'm very happy with it. I think it looks great. I've tweaked the heck out of it. It is incredibly fast. Everything is local. There are no third-party fonts, no third-party links. Well, except going to other pages, but that's about it. Nothing isn't, no includes from a third party. So it goes very fast, and I think looks good. So if you want to check it out, I think, let's see. Yeah, theirishbard.com. So you can check it out if you want to see how it is. And if you do have any more feedback, feel free, because yeah, I kind of, a couple of days ago, yeah, I kind of went out for a pre-birthday dinner with my dad, and we got in a conversation, and I started thinking, somebody had said that I should have a list of all the venues I've played at, but it's a lot of work, and I just don't see it being very impactful. I don't think anybody would really look at it, and just take up a lot of space. And I want it to be as succinct and concise as possible. But I thought, what if there was a map that just showed in the US all the places I've played, and then maybe had a list afterwards you could follow. But I made it just a link on my main page, and it just goes to a secondary page which shows that. So, of course, I never obsess about anything at all. Oh, never. No, not I. But I started thinking about it, and the more I thought about it, the more I thought it could help. I know that my website, that helped me get Arkansas. And I was talking with the entertainment director, and she was talking about what the owners and her needed, and they were unsure about using me as a stage act. They were just thinking about me busking in the lanes and playing for the Maple. And I just said, well, I just finished my website. There's some videos you can see. And after they looked at that, they booked me. So I'm thinking it does help. They do look at that. So yeah, I kind of started putting something together like this, and it shows, different venues and places, on a map of the US that you can zoom in on. And, it has a list of all of them below, and I'm still tweaking it. And that's a process. Going through all those venues over the last 20 years. Oh my God, that is crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna add that on. I think the list of venues. It's like a few dozen house concerts alone. Fairs, Ren fairs that don't even exist anymore. Conventions, I think, that don't exist anymore. Yeah, just a lot of different places over the years. But I think it will. I think it'll be interesting, and it's kind of a fun project. So I'm putting it together, and hopefully I'll have that over the next week or so as an aside. And it'll be a separate page, so it's not going to dominate the main page. It'll just be a link on there that says past shows, and you can click on it, and boom. And I think it might actually help me get booked a little bit, because somebody will say, oh, I wonder where he's played. And they'll look at all that and go, whoa, okay, we'll hire him. Because, experience is a selling point. So that's kind of, yeah, sort of like a resume, Harvey. That's exactly it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So we'll give it a shot. And if people don't like it, it's easy to take away. It's a separate page. It's not even very integrated in the site. It will just be a little button that you click on that just says past gigs or past shows or shows I've played, or I'll try a few different things. So yeah. But yeah. Anyway, if you have any other feedback for the site, I would love to hear it. But I think it's probably fairly locked right now. I tried out so many different things and tried tweaking so many times. I actually tracked down a bunch of small little formatting bugs and issues. Hell, even found a double comma in the code at one point where I was like, "Oh, that's bad." And the page still worked, but it ignored a few. It ignored a little bit of CSS in there. So I went ahead and fixed that, and little things like that. But it is running very smooth. All hundreds on Google Lighthouse and Google PageSpeed and a lot of the testing applications out there. So very happy. So we'll keep going with that. Oh yeah, and now I have to do it when you make comments like that, Janine. Yeah, and it is zoomable, so you can kind of zoom in and see everything. And it's done where I found a map where what you have to do is you just list the different. When I put in the different venues, you put in the the GPS coordinates. So it's exactly where it is. So that's kind of nice. That's a pretty cool feature. So you can zoom in and see exactly how close they are to each other if you really want to. But yeah, I think it'll work well and might be interesting. So I was hoping I was done with it, but it pulled me back in. Anyway, it's already 7:28. Let me jump into the Faire map real quick because wow, it's look at the map. Interesting because we get to the end of April and you'll notice a lot of things in the north, and the temperature's starting to change now. It's not as cold up there, and a lot of one weekend fairs this weekend coming up. Just single weekend or even a few single day fairs. So kind of interesting. So we will check that out. And yes, okay, yay! And I got my laser pointer all ready. Woohoo! Yeah. Okay, let's do this. It's interesting. I don't think I can't move that. Oh well. Let's see. Let's start with. Oh, what a long list this is. This is crazy. Okay. Let's just start with the Enchanted Orchard Renaissance Fair in Phillipston, Massachusetts. And it's just this one weekend. It's a couple of years old, started in 2024. Jumping down to the Long Island Ferry Festival in Sands Point, New York. And it's just Saturday, one day only. And it's been around for a few years too. 2023 is when that was founded. Jumping down to Jersey, we have the Cape May Renaissance Fair in Cape May Courthouse, New Jersey. That's the name of the township, Cape May Courthouse. I know. And it is just the one weekend. And at first I was kind of like, okay, it's its first year. I don't know, maybe how real of a fair is this? And I looked, and I know a lot of the people performing there. Some of them I'm going to see in Jersey at the New Jersey Fair in just a few weeks. So yeah, definitely, it's definitely legitimate. So check it out if you're in the area. Might be interesting. Oh, Dan's going to be there. Okay, plan to check out Cape May this weekend. Okay, cool. I'd love some feedback to hear how that goes. Let me know, because I'm hoping that's a good one. Because if it is, in the future, maybe I would head up sooner and do that first, right? Why not? might be something to check out. Oh, they run a couple of other fairs. Okay, know what they were doing. Well, that's always a good thing. That's probably why they hired some good people, because some of the groups for a first-year fair I was a little impressed by. That's why I brought it up. So that makes sense. Okay. Well, jumping over to the May Day Ferry Festival in Essex, Maryland. And again, one weekend only. But that's been around for a long time, since 1993. That's a long time for a fairy festival, so that's very interesting. Jumping down to Virginia, we have the Virginia Fantasy Festival in Madison, Virginia. This is 5 weekends long, so this is the first weekend. Goes on throughout all of May. Then we have, going over to West Virginia, we have the Harmony House Renaissance Fair in Huntington, West Virginia. And that's a 3-day weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that's been around for a few years, started in 2024. Jumping up to Ohio, we have the, that should actually be a Vikings shield. That's a mistake. I'll fix that. The Village Viking Festival in Burton, Ohio. That's 1 weekend only in just the Saturday and Sunday. Then jumping down to the Livonia Renaissance Festival in Livonia, Georgia. And that's 1 day, just Saturday. And that's been around since 2019. So it has been going on for a little while, which is interesting for the proximity because not too far away is the Georgia Renaissance Festival that's almost halfway done on weekend 4 out of 8 in Fairburn, Georgia. And the theme for this weekend for them is Clash of Realms. And then going a little northwest, we have the Tennessee Renaissance Festival is starting up in Arrington, Tennessee. And it's the first out of 5 weekends, and the theme is Nordic Invasion. Then, jumping up to Indiana, we have the Southern Indiana Renaissance Fair. And like several of the others, it's also been around since 2019 in Seymour, Indiana. And it is the 2nd out of 5 weekends, so it's started last weekend. And the theme for this weekend is Pirates and Winches Weekend. Jumping over to Iowa, we have the Spring Fling at the Renaissance Fair at Sleepy Hollow. Might be familiar with the Sleepy Hollow Ren Fair. And it's in Des Moines, Iowa, and they do 3 weekends in May. This is the first out of 3. Then jumping over to Nebraska, we have the Renaissance Festival of Nebraska in Papillon, Nebraska. And it's the first out of 3 weekends. And it's been around since 2008, so it's actually been going on for a while. Then we go down to Muskogee, the old Castle of Muskogee Fair, but now they call it the Oklahoma Renaissance Festival. And it's been around since 95, and in Muskogee, Oklahoma, 2nd out of 6 weekends, and their theme is Romance Weekend. Going down to Texas, we have the Scarborough Renaissance Festival in Waxahachie, Texas, and it's halfway through with the 5th out of 8 weekends, and the theme is Spring Celebration and Chivalry. And then we have a fairly new fair. It's been around since 2024, and Whispering Grove Fair, and I'm going to pronounce this wrong, but I'm going to try. Councey? Yeah, Texas. And it's the 2nd out of 4 weekends. So they go for 4 weekends. So a fairly new fair, but I do know a few people from Sherwood who perform there. So worth checking out if you like if you like some of the performers at Sherwood. Going way across the country now to the Moscow Renaissance Fair in Moscow, Idaho. Just 1 weekend, May 2nd to 3rd, and it's been going on since 1974. I mean, wow, a 1 weekend fair that's been going on for over 50 years. Crazy. Okay, jumping down to California, we have the Escondido Renaissance Fair Spring Edition, because they do a fall and spring in Escondido, California, and it is, I'm probably mispronouncing that too. It is the 2nd and final weekend of that. Then you go to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair in Irwindale, California, and let's see, that is the 5th out of 7 weekends, so yes. And we're got it. That is all. Yay. So one over near Van, Texas. That might be the one I was talking about. Yeah, the Whispering Grove Fair. So that might be it. So yeah, that might be the one you're thinking of. Okay, so yes, here we are. And it's already like 7:36, so I may not even bother with the 7 reasons. Yeah, I think we're just going to relax and do the standard birthday but don't worry. I know um, you're thinking, oh, he's not going to have a fun birthday, but let's just say I'm doing okay. Yes, I'm not doing too bad. Oh yeah, uh-huh. Red velvet cake. Mm-hmm. 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 So don't worry. I am uh I am prepared. Mm. If you're wondering, it's iced tea because I am a southerner. And oh, that's yes, gonna be enjoying that. Mm. Oh, Avalon, that just finished, actually. Avalon just finished. That has been going on for several weeks. So yes, that one it goes. It's an interesting fair because it matches a bit of the end of Sherwood, goes a little past Sherwood, and then done. So yeah, it's an interesting choice in timing because they compete with Sherwood and Scarby, and it's a very odd choice. Uh, so I don't know what to say about that, but I think a few weeks ago I mentioned it on and on the fair list and said that I thought that was a pretty odd choice, but they've been going for several years, so must be doing something right. And I do know some performers that do it, and they seem to like it. Maybe they like that it's. I've heard some things like that. It's a nice little fair where they kind of follow. It's like how fairs used to be, so it's not that commercial. It's not too huge. It's a lot more relaxed and fun in that regard. If you don't like the big crowds, and I think that's the draw that some people go for. And honestly, that's why some people like the smaller fairs, because you get a lot of what you could get at the larger fairs, but it's not as overwhelming, especially for the high anxiety crowd. It's a thing. So yeah. Whew. So, so yes. Well, I think I am going to call it there because it's already almost 7:40, and I could do a 7 reasons, but I think that's probably pushing it. I will have one for next week though, so don't worry. I am going to be on the road next week, but I'm going to do my best to try to do a to try to do a fair life. And I think I can do it. It's going to be tight, but I'm going to give it a try. Uh, but yes, so I'll just hang out and eat cake. Ah, mm, mm, mm. Oh, that is good. That's really good. And I totally did not make this cake. Mm. Oh, yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Ah. So thank you very much, everyone. Uh, I very much enjoying it, and I will see you in the future. See you next week. See you next month, and as always, see you with a fair life. So take care. Enjoy. I know. I really should I not have had the cake in front of you. I just wanted to prove that I was enjoying my birthday. That's all. I promise. There was no cruelty intended. So seriously, you should all go out, and I'm going to sound like Marie Antoinette was supposed to have said, but yes, you should all go out and get some cake and just and think of me. I would appreciate it. I'm giving you I'm giving you a full yes, a dispensation. Do it in whatever power I seem to have. So thank you, and take care, and I will see you soon. Bye.